Hello, hello, Career Prime members. How are you guys today? I want to answer a question. This is a quick Q&A. I got a great question from somebody who said, how long should I wait for a promotion? And I said, 2 years. And they were like, wow, how would you know that? How can you say 2 years? Listen, there is rationale behind 2 years. Let me tell you what it is. If you are asking that question in the first place, how long should I be waiting before I get a promotion? Chances are you're frustrated, confused, uncertain. Chances are you're asking that question because you've already put in some time. Maybe you've already put in 2 years, 3 years, whatever it might be. And a promotion doesn't look imminent. So you're asking the question, how long should I wait? Now, if you're asking the question, you don't know how long it's going to take you to take the next step in your career. That means you don't have a career roadmap. You need a career roadmap that will tell you exactly how long it'll take for you to get to that next step. What's a career roadmap? Okay. So if you are talking specifically about being promoted, you have to answer these questions. And they're the standard WH questions that we all learned in school, but let me walk you through them. First is who. Do you know who is involved in the decision making? Is it just your manager? Is it, company leadership somehow? What does that mean? Who is involved in making the decision, making the recommendation for you to be promoted? You got to know that. Number two is what? What are the duties and responsibilities of that position that you want to be promoted into? Do you have a job description? Do you know the requirements of an employee who would be really successful in that position? Don't make assumptions here. For any of this stuff, don't make assumptions. You should be building a career roadmap toward promotion with your manager. Okay. Don't look at and say, well, it only took Timmy 2 years, so I'm going to put no, anything that happened with any other employee, not relevant. A career roadmap is individualized. It's specific to you. Okay. So know who the decision makers are, know what you're shooting for, what the requirements are in that position. And then third, where are you? Where are you relative to that goal? Are you 50% of the way there? 75%? I don't know. And don't default to your performance reviews for this, because your performance reviews are usually relative to your current position. So they tell you how well you're doing in your current position. This is a different question. So you need to identify the gap between what your skill set is now and what the requirements are for the position that you're gunning for. You need to identify that gap. Okay, next is, well, how would you close that gap? What do you need to do? And keep in mind here that studies show, so this is a generality, but studies show that men put themselves in a position of promotion when they're not, when they're only, say, 75 or 80%. I forget what the statistic is, but I think it's 75 to 80% meeting the requirements of the position that they're applying for. Okay. Women, on the other hand, tend to wait until they check off all the boxes. Women tend to wait until they fulfill 100% of the duties and responsibilities and requirements and skill sets of the job that they're applying for. So think about when you're identifying the gap, think about where you want to be in actually applying to that new position, or that getting that promotion, or positioning yourself for a promotion. Do you want to wait until you check off all the boxes? Or do you want to put yourself out there when you meet about 75% and you're willing to make some mistakes, you're willing to learn, you're willing to grow into the position. So you need to think about that when you answer the how am I going to close that gap? Okay. And then, only then, when you know what you need to do to close that gap, can you define when you would be eligible for that position? How long is it going to take? I don't know. But here's the thing. Number one, it's probably not within the first year, right? Because if a promotion were imminent in the next year or so, you'd probably know. You wouldn't be asking the question. And here's the other thing. If it were 3 years or more, if you do this roadmap and a promotion isn't imminent within 2 years, but actually it may take 3 or 4 years, okay, now you have a different question that you need to tackle. Because if you've already been in a position for some time, a year, 2 years, 5 years, I don't know what it is, and a promotion is 3 years or more out ahead of you, well, now the question is, do you want to stick around and do that? Or does it make sense to jump ship? Okay. Because if you jump ship to another job, another role, now you know better, right? You know better, you do better. So from day one, you should have that career roadmap. Don't be shy to ask for a roadmap to promotion in the very beginning of a new job or a new role, okay? There is nothing wrong with that. But it might make more sense to start a new role, understand what the requirements are, and put yourself on a 2-year path to promotion. Okay. So that's why I say 2 years. People are like, what? How do you know? That's crazy talk. Okay. If it were within 1 year, you'd already know it. You're asking the question, so it's probably not within 1 year. And if it's 3 years or more, you have a fundamentally different question to ask yourself, which is, do I want to stick around or should I jump ship? Maybe a promotion, waiting for a promotion within this organization actually doesn't make sense for me. Okay, so I hope that was helpful. Go get your career roadmaps, work with your manager, use this framework. You'll notice that there's one WH question that I didn't include, which is why. It's an important one, okay? I am operating under the assumption that you know exactly why you're gunning for a promotion. But if you don't, well, you got to answer that first, right? You got to know, why are you shooting for a promotion? And do you like your reason? Some people just, they're gunning for a promotion just because they don't like the idea of staying where they are, or that it doesn't, they don't feel it reflects well on them to stay in a position for too long, right? The reality is, if you want to stay where you are and you like it and you are good at it, it's okay. It's okay to not go for a promotion. The other thing is, some people are hoping that a promotion represents some sort of financial freedom, greater financial freedom, right? So you get a raise, or your bonus eligibility changes and kicks you up a notch. But here's the thing. If the promotion, the new role now requires that you have to travel the country and work longer hours and whatever, okay, now you have the financial piece, but you don't have the freedom piece, right? So I left out the why because you should know that up front. You should know that up front. Be very clear. Be honest. Be honest with yourself about why you're trying to get promoted, and then fill out the career roadmap, which answers all the other questions, gives you an idea of timeline, and then you can make an informed decision about how to move forward. Okay, guys, if you are not already a part of my email list, get on it. I'm going to have a tool that I'm sending out tomorrow that has all of the questions. It's a worksheet that you can use to facilitate a conversation with your manager on this topic. So go to aureliancoaching.com/email. Go ahead and sign up. Make sure you get that. Okay. Have a great day, guys. Bye.